Welcome friends, I am Dr. Ashish Agarwal, course coordinator for your course Production Management. We are discussing cost, volume, profit and break-even analysis, which is a very important component for any production manager. In today's session, we are going to cover some examples of break-even analysis. We will try to focus on few examples which are taken from the text which has been provided to you. Along with, we will also try to discuss different aspects. For example, that what would be the quantity of product or items for reaching to the break-even point, and if we want to go beyond that break-even point, what should be the number of quantity in terms of money, in terms of volume. Similarly, we will also try that if we want to reduce some input, then what will be the effect on our break-even point, and if we want to maintain the break-even point, then what will be the quantity of product or component for meeting the break-even point. We have the learning objective that first we will take the multi-product break-even analysis, then examples, then we will also discuss the contribution margin in cost volume analysis, then what are the different applications of cost volume, and also we will discuss assumptions which we follow in case of cost volume profit relationship calculation. When we talk about the break-even analysis for multi-product cases, we have already discussed the break-even analysis for single product. So in multi-product also it is similar to the single product, but in case of multi-product we are taking products which are more than one. Why we are discussing it? Because most of the manufacturing firms or services providing organization have a variety of offering with different selling price and the variable cost. In case of break-even analysis, when we talk about the multi-product cases, the reason for this discussion is most of the organization or the manufacturing firms or service providing organizations have a variety of offering with different selling price and the variable cost. Break-even analysis can be used to determine the proportion of sales of each product. This can be done by giving a weight to the each product contribution by the proportion of the sale. If we talk mathematically, this is an equation that is break-even point in terms of the revenue, that is fixed cost F divided by summation 1 minus VI upon PI multiplied by a weight WI. VI is equal to variable cost per unit for the ith product. I would again like to remind you that we are discussing the multi-product model. So that is why I have given a suffix I, because if I is equal to 1, it is valid for one product. If I is equal to 3, it is valid for 3 products. PI is the price per unit for the ith product. F is equal to fixed cost. I is the each product, if it is, as I have told you, 1, 2, 3, whatever be the. WI is the weight contribution of the ith product. This mathematical equation I would like to explain you with the help of one example. The example I have taken from your text only. Here the example is the cost from the Shagun Palace, a continental restaurant. I am going to show you. The most important thing which you should remember is the fixed cost, because it will come again and again. The fixed cost is rupees 50,000 per month. Remember, fixed cost 50,000 per month. So if we are going to calculate the fixed cost for the year, then it will be multiplied by 12. Now you just see the example. Here we have taken 5 products, and in the second column the price is given, the cost is given, the forecasted sales is given on the last column, and you will see that how the price is more as the cost, because cost is the initial cost incurred for making a sandwich, that is 15 rupees. If we are selling it, the price is 30 rupees. Now break-even analysis is required or is applied for a single product also, but in case of multi-product we have to calculate the weight which is a contribution to the total sale. If you just focus on this figure, you will find selling price in the second column, third column variable cost, then the ratio of variable cost and the price is given on the fourth. Then if you remember the formula, we have a 1 minus V upon P that we have calculated in fifth column, then forecasted sales in sixth column, and the percentage of sale. That means what we have done, we have divided the individual, just like 1,50,000 divided by 17,30,000, and we get 0.09. And if you add the total, then we have also calculated the weighted contribution, that is coming as 0.45, because we have multiplied with column 5 entry with the column 7 entry, that is 0.5 into 0.09, and we are getting the 0.045. So that in this way we have found the weighted contribution of each product. Now we will come to the break-even analysis. For instance, if we see the revenue for pizza is 700,000 or 7 million, which is 40% of total revenue, that is 17 lakh and 30,000. Therefore, the contribution of pizza will be weighted as a 0.40, and if you just find out the weighted contribution, then we will multiply it by 0.40 multiplied by 0.55, 0.22. Thus, it reflects the relative contribution for pizza if we are combining the all 5 products. Now, using the approach, we can find that total contribution is 0.57 for each rupees of sale. If we are selling 1 rupees, the contribution of all combined product is 0.517. Now, suppose we want to find out the break-even point for the burger. That means how much quantity of burger or how much quantity in terms of money we want to meet the break-even point. You remember this formula, and 50,000 is the fixed cost. Since we are taking it for annually, then it is multiplied by 12, and then we have the weighted average, that is 0.57, which is coming in the last column at the last row. Then we will find it is 11,060,550 in terms of rupee. That means that is the amount of sale which is required for the break-even point for the burger. Now, if you want to calculate the total sale for the 15 weeks at 6 days of each, then we will have the total amount divided by 312. How we are getting 312? If you multiply 52 weeks by 6, you will get 312 and you will get rupees 3750. That means this is a daily sale you are required for meeting the break-even point. Data given can be used to determine what must be sold each day. For example, the sales forecast of sandwich of 9% times the daily break-even will be rupees 3720 divided by the selling price of sandwich, that is rupees 30. This will indicate the sales it must be every day. Why I am giving this picture or this table each time, so that you should remember what I am referring. So if you want to calculate or find out the sales that must be for meeting the break-even point, we will have the weight 0.09, then we have calculated 3720 as a break-even and 30 is the price. So we will get 11.16 is the quantity of the sandwich that must be sold per day. That is 11 is the minimum quantity if we want to meet the break-even point. Now we will come to the cost volume profit analysis. It is also sometimes called profit volume analysis, sometimes we call cost profit volume analysis. In short, we say CPV or CVP. Different books refer different names. The kind of information derived from this cost volume profit analysis, we are taking again one simple example. A quality ice cream company that used to sell the ice cream of various flavor and a chain of stores throughout the city. Volume of the business is measured in terms of units of liter of the ice cream sold. Company buys ice cream at the rate of 35 per liter and the sale price or the price is rupees 50 per liter. So it does not vary with the store or from period to period. This is a table which will give you the idea about the fixed cost. If you just refer the second column, in the third column we have a different variable cost, and then finally we have given the contribution of the variable cost. So if you just see second last row, you will find the total fixed cost is 55,000 and the variable cost is 38.25 rupees. So the margin or the contribution margin will be 50 minus 38.25, that is 11.75. Here we have also calculated what is the percentage of total expenses and what is the percentage of contribution margin, that is 23.5. What we are observing, the most important thing is that we are not including income tax in the expenses because it does not come under the fixed cost nor as a variable cost. Income tax depends upon the amount of profit or the income before taxes. So instead of fixed or dependent on the volume which we are selling or which we are manufacturing. Often they are ignored in the cost profit analysis, and profit is defined in terms of only operating income or income before deduction of the income tax. That you should keep in mind. This is a graphical picture for break-even point. The horizontal line is the fixed cost for your earlier example, and here it is 55,000. So the line is just above the 50,000. So the variable cost is directly coming from the origin, while the total cost is coming at the point which intersect the y-axis with the horizontal line. So the point of intersection will be the break-even point, and the zone Below the break-even point is called the loss zone or loss territory, and the zone or territory which is above break-even point is called as a profit zone or profit territory. In a very simple language, if we want to earn a profit, we will take a point in the profit zone and we will drop a line on the y-axis and we will drop on the x-axis, and we can find that to earn this much amount, what should be our production or what should be our sale per day or in 1000. Now we will talk about the contribution margin. Variable cost directly vary with the revenue. The generation of additional amount of revenue is always associated with the generation of the variable cost. We will take again the same example. The quality ice cream shows the variable cost as 76.5% of the firm revenue. Thus, the revenue of 100 rupees earned by the company comprises 76.5 as the amount to be paid by the company in order to cover the associated variable cost. So what is remaining left, or the remaining, that is rupees 11.75, and this is known as the contribution margin. These are some important points you should always keep in mind, that contribution margin is the amount of revenue left after the deduction of variable cost. This portion of revenue is used to cover the fixed cost and provide the operating profit. Contribution margin can be expressed in various ways, in terms of units, in terms of monetary, in terms of volume. We will see one by one by taking the equations. If you just see, the contribution margin ratio or the contribution rate is defined as the contribution margin expressed as a percentage of sale. Formula is contribution rate is equal to unit sale price and variable cost per unit divided by the unit sales price. In case of quality ice cream, 50 is the unit sale price, 38.25 is the variable cost. So our contribution rate or the contribution margin will be 50 minus 38.25 divided by 50, and that comes in percentage 23.5. So we can say there is a margin of 23.5%. A contribution of rate of 23.5 indicates that 23.5% of the revenue is available to cover the fixed cost, and it also contributes towards the operating income or the operating profit. The remaining 76.5% is consumed by the variable cost. So you should see that the major portion of your revenue is covered by the variable cost. Now we will discuss another important point. If we want to determine what should be the required sales volume, so we will take the concept of contribution margin, and it can be used as a quick measure to determine the unit sales volume required to achieve the break-even point or the break-even or any desired level of operating income. It is particularly important to companies to decide whether to introduce a new product line, build a new plant, or some remains in the business. That if we want, then it is necessary to determine the contribution margin. To determine the relationship between the sales volume and the contribution margin, we will find the volume of ice cream quality store that must be sold in order to achieve the break-even. At the break-even, contribution margin earned by the store must be large enough to cover the fixed cost. Data shows the fixed cost is 55,000 and the contribution margin is rupees 11.75. If the sales of each liter covers rupees 11.75 of the fixed cost, then how many liters must be sold per month to cover a fixed cost of 55,000? We know from our formula that 50,000 divided by the contribution margin or the contribution rate, and we will get 4680 liter per month. So that is the amount of ice cream that must be sold by the quality ice cream company to meet the break-even point. Similarly, if we want to find in terms of unit, then the formula is fixed cost plus operating cost divided by the contribution margin per unit. This formula can be used to determine not only the sales volume at break-even point, but also at desired level of operating income. Suppose the company wants to earn a monthly income of 25,000. Friends, if we want to determine how many liters of ice cream must be sold by quality store to earn a monthly income of rupees 25,000. So our operating income will be 25,000 and our fixed cost, if you recall, is rupees 55,000, and the contribution margin per unit is 11.75. If you just see our equation, the sales volume in terms of unit is equal to fixed cost plus operating income divided by contribution margin per unit. So if we put the value, that is 55,000 plus 25,000 divided by 11.75, then we will get the sales volume, that is 6,808 liters per month. This indicates that 6,808 liter is the quantity of ice cream that must be sold by quality store to earn a monthly income of rupees 25,000. From this example, you should understand that how we have determined a sales volume for earning a specified income monthly. So the cost profit or the cost volume profit analysis not only tells you about the break-even point, but it will also guide you that how much quantity you should sell to earn a specified quantity of income. Now, if we want to determine the sales volume in terms of the monetary units, that is in terms of the money, it can be determined by first calculating the required sales, then multiplying the answer by the unit sales price. As a more direct approach, it can be calculated through substituting the contribution rate for the contribution margin per unit in the sales volume formula as we have defined earlier. If you recall, the formula for calculating the volume is fixed cost plus operating income divided by the contribution margin per unit. Now, when we want to determine the sales volume in terms of rupees, then we have given the fixed cost plus operating income divided by the contribution margin per unit, that is 55,000 plus 25,000 divided by the 23.5%, that is 0.235. Remember, 23.5% is the margin, contribution margin in terms of money out of 100 rupees. So that is why we have given 23.5% as a contribution margin. So we get the sales volume in terms of the rupees. That means in order to earn an operating income of rupees 25,000, Quality Ice Cream Store should have the sales volume of rupees 3,49,425 rupees per month. So you just see that with the help of the cost volume profit analysis, we are able to determine the number of quantity, that is in terms of liter in case of ice cream, number of sales volume in terms of rupees. That is the beauty of this cost volume profit analysis. Now another term which I want to discuss is the margin of the safety. Margin of safety is defined as the amount by which actual sales volume exceed the volume required for the break-even. Therefore, it represents the amount by which sale could decrease without incurring any operational loss. Here I would like to explain you that suppose at the break-even we have the 100 liters volume, that 100 liters if we are selling per day, then we are meeting the break-even. Suppose we are selling 120. So safety margin is from 120 to 100, because if we reduce from 120 to 100, we are not going to have any losses. That is the amount by which we can decrease the sales and without incurring any operation loss, and that is called the margin of the safety. In terms of mathematical equation, operating income should be the product of margin of safety multiplied by the contribution rate. That formula you can always remember even for calculating the margin of safety, because then margin of safety is nothing but the ratio of operating income and the contribution rate. The formula is easy to understand because the margin of safety represents the sales above the break-even point. Thus, all the fixed costs are compensated and the contribution from the sales are used to enlarge or enhance the operating income. Now, we will see how the cost volume profit analysis is applied in case of different examples. It is used to decide their sales target, their policy, in estimation of cost and the expenses, and in case of planning any strategic decision. Again, we are taking the same example of Quality Ice Cream. In order to increase the sales, the management of Quality Ice Cream Company decided to give a discount in the sales of 1.5 liter package. One of the effect of the policy is the reduction of average sales price from rupees 50 to rupees 45. That means we are going to give advantage of rupees 5 to our customer. Now the company wants to calculate the effect of this price reduction on the volume of ice cream to be sold to achieve the break-even. I would like to further illustrate this, that when we are reducing the price of the ice cream, then in order to compensate that the loss of 5 rupees, we have to increase the sales, and the increase in sales will compensate rupees 5, and that is the effect we want to calculate for the company. If you just see, earlier the price was rupees 50, and if you deduct 38.25 as a variable cost, you will get contribution margin as 11.75. Now the price is 45, so the contribution margin is your rupees 6.75. In order to calculate the sales volume, we have fixed cost divided by contribution margin, that is now 6.75. So we will get the sales volume in terms of liter, that is 8148. Earlier we are getting about 6000 liters to reach the break-even point. Now just appreciate that if we are reducing the price, we have to increase our sales volume. And if you just see, the new target required for break-even is 57% higher than the present break-even, that was 4680, and now we are going to 8148. Thus management will exercise that the proposed policy in practice only applicable if the company expect that there is a increase in volume of sale by 57% per month. As per the company, it is very difficult to increase the sales by 57%. So this reduction is not logical. Another example, the quality store earlier opens 10 hours a day. Now company wants to reduce the working hours by 1 hour. This will result a loss of 400 liters of sales per month, but it would cut the cost by 10,000 rupees per month. Now the question is, should the company change its store hours? Let us see the solution. Now the decrease in revenue is 400 into 50, because 50 is the sale price, that is 20,000 per month. Reduction in fixed cost is 10,000. Loss of contribution margin is rupees 4750. That is, if you multiply it by the decrease in revenue multiplied by the contribution margin, you will get. But increase in monthly income due to decrease in the fixed cost is 10,000 minus 4750 is 5250. So in anyhow, the company is earning a monthly income of rupees 5250. Therefore, it indicates that if company is reducing the store hour total hours by 1 hour, it will result in a profit of rupees 5250. Therefore, the policy is beneficial for the company. There are different assumptions, just like fixed costs remain constant with different volume of products sold with range of volume chosen for analysis. Second assumption, sales per unit is also constant and does not vary with the amount of product. Percentage of variable cost in sales revenue also remain constant. For a manufacturing firm, the number of units produced equals to the number of sold. That means there is no backlog. There is no leftover units which is unsold, or vice versa, number of units is less or than the demand, that is the stock out condition. So we assume that number of units produced is equal to the number of units sold. Now in this session, I would like to summarize whatever we have discussed till now. The cost volume analysis, cost volume profit analysis, which we have studied, help us to learn the behavior of the cost, profit in response to varying level of business activity. This is also useful for investor and creditors because it determines the ability of business to pay debts and increase the dividend payment. In this session, you have studied the break-even analysis, which finds the point either in terms of monetary or in terms of unit, that is at total cost equals revenue. The point is called the break-even point. It is here you have to take a make or buy decision. We have also studied the crossover chart, and we have also studied the break-even analysis for a multi-product. We have also discussed various types of situation. The one situation when the company wants to reduce the cost or the price. Second situation when the company wants to reduce the number of hours, and we have analyzed that which situation is profitable for the company. Thank you.